I wanted to share this particular video with you, not because I'm going to be showing you my setup. I already shot this. I was planning to do a large project with it, but I just found working with this particular telescope was too painful. I was trying to use the Askar 30mm ultra wide. It's only 135mm focal length, 30mm aperture. I mean, it's more like a lens than a telescope, but it is categorized as a telescope. And I had so many issues just getting it to focus with the EAF that I wasted so much data. I decided I wasn't going to waste any more data, but I did want to share with you guys the hydrogen data I get, because I did get a decent amount of hydrogen data. So I'm calling this one the Great Failed Experiment. So there are different kinds of imaging, from lunar to planetary to solar to deep sky, right? But within the deep sky area, there's also wide field and narrow field of views. This one was really wide. I mean, we're talking almost 20 degrees of sky in the entire spectrum. This particular image was a 6-panel mosaic. Now, mosaics are incredibly rewarding, but make no mistake, they are incredibly difficult to actually image, because sometimes you get gradients that you just simply cannot fix between different panels, and it can ruin your entire session. Sometimes mosaics just simply fail, right? Whether it's these color gradient issues that I was referring to, or sometimes you just get bad mismatches between panels, and that was part of my problem. I actually had some of the wrong numbers inside of my planner, so my first night, my data wasn't even overlapping, and I couldn't get AstroPixel processor to even build the mosaic, and I couldn't figure out why, until I found out that my pixel size was still the same pixel size when I had my ASI 294mm as opposed to my current 2600mm. So my panels were a couple degrees spacing apart, because it thought I was using larger, like 4.6 micron pixels, I think it is, versus the current 3.7 micron pixel size. So I wasn't overlapping, and therefore it failed on me to begin with. So that was my first red flag. Now, if you're using PixInsight, good luck. Mosaics and PixInsight is just, it's horrible, and it's incredibly tedious, and it's a lot of work to get it to work for you. I use AstroPixel processor, and it does a wonderful job, but even then, sometimes you do still get hiccups, right? I mean, sometimes the stars don't properly match, sometimes it doesn't remove the gradients properly, but even then, I could stack the same data 15 times and change 1 or 2 settings, and I could, in theory, get completely different results. So it still takes some patience and some messing around with things and settings. I found if you downscale your image substantially, it actually helps speed that process up, versus doing your full stack on the first try. So mess around with your settings, but downgrade your scale to be only like a quarter of the actual size. So if you're working with multiple panels of 26 million pixels, which is native with the ASI 2600mm, you could be there for many hours just in trying to get this to stack. The single image of this particular mosaic that I'm going to show you with just the hydrogen data of the area of Cygnus is 125 million pixels. Again, it's 6 panels with the ASI 2600mm Pro. Yeah, 125 million pixels. So it's pretty detailed. Now, because it is a small telescope, there's not a ton of defining detail within each individual area of the nebulae, but you can see such a huge area of the sky, and I really wish, and I might try to do this again next year, but maybe just go ahead and get a lens that's even wider than 135 millimeters possibly. We'll see. So to actually stack all of that, it took, I think, 3.5 hours, and I've got a pretty beefy gaming computer that can handle that, and it's one of the newer processors that you can get on the market, and it still took a long time just to get it to stack. So again, with this particular video, not looking to do a full in-depth review or anything like that. I just wanted to show you my great failed project. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at this 6-panel mosaic of Cygnus with only hydrogen data. Thanks for joining, and until next time, clear skies and take care of each other. We'll see you next time.